Dear audience, welcome to our Xinhua live broadcast. Today, here we are at the headquarters of Evoke. Evoke is a company that produces electric motorcycles. It's not like those scooters that we often see on university campuses. It's like real motorcycles, like those powered by gasoline. So today, next to me is Mr. Connor McGray from Scotland, and he will be our tour guide today. So Connor, please say hi to our audience.
Hey everyone. My name's Connor. I work here at Evoke Electric Motorcycles and Business Development, and we produce high-powered electric motorcycles. At the moment, these are the fastest electric motorcycles in China.
Very cool. So before we tour the company, we will conduct a test ride of their products. So let's go, Connor.
Sure, yeah, let's go. Hop
Good.
on.
Okay.
Okay, we're good?
You can lead the way. Connor, how do you like it? Woo. Ooh. Connor, how do you like it? Is it cool?
Yeah, I love these bikes.
Yeah. And when I push the throttles, it's like so smooth during the acceleration
Yeah, yeah.
phase.
They have a very linear throttle. The power delivery is very smooth.
It's very quiet. It's not like the gasoline like right?
Yeah, yeah. There's only a very slight whirring noise coming from the motors. Apart from that, they're completely silent.
Yeah, that's cool. So shall we tour your company
Yeah, sure.
and
Go on.
and we can see how you guys work? Okay, let's go.
So we'll head in the workshop first.
Yeah.
So the workshop's just down in here. This is the Foxconn facility. This is section 3 here in Beijing.
Okay, that's good.
So our manufacturing facility is just a few kilometers down the road, so we're very close. The logistics are great.
So this is just like a small workshop where you do the maintenance, or
This is where we currently do maintenance. We do the R&D here, so we tinker with the bikes, we upgrade, mess around with controllers, batteries, all sorts here. But the final products are made just down the road, about 2 kilometers.
okay. So Connor, can you give us a brief introduction of your company and what you do in the company? What is you're in charge of?
Okay, so yeah, so this is Evoke Electric Motorcycles. We have been trading for a few years now. We're still relatively new. My position is business development for international sales, and I find international distributors. We're really focusing on the European market at the moment, trying to find as many distributors and dealers as possible to get the bikes out there because of all the government incentives they have.
Okay, so how many bikes do you have so far? Like, these are all your bikes here?
Yes, these are all our bikes. There's about 5 functioning bikes here just now, and these are just frames. They're going to be getting built up very soon. We have a big order of over 30 bikes going down to Qingdao in a few weeks. So these bikes over here will be going down there.
Okay. So where do you sell it? Well, in China or around the world? In China, which places are you selling?
We're selling all over China technically, but we don't have any dealers signed up yet. We had a few in Beijing, but they haven't materialized yet. So you can still come down to our headquarters and buy a bike if you want to.
Okay, so what was the inspiration or idea that makes Evolve become a reality here in China, especially?
Basically, here in China, there is a big push for electric vehicles, but our founder, Nathan C., he came here from Canada just over 10 years ago. He started riding internal combustion bikes here and found out very quickly that it's not so easy. He was riding on fake number plates, so he got his bike taken away from him. And when you first look at these electric scooters from a foreigner's perspective, they don't look like much fun. You think, because when you think of a motorcycle, you think of like a big Kawasaki or a Suzuki or something. So he rode one of these electric scooters and thought, this is fantastic, but we need something faster. And there wasn't anything much faster available in China at the time, so that's pretty much the inspiration that started off Evoke.
Right, of course. We know that China is pushing very hard toward a eco-friendly economy, and the government is adding some subsidiaries for electric vehicles and also motorcycles. So it's really good you combine the fast speed with the electricity all in one. I think it's good.
Yeah, definitely. This is the future. This is the wave tomorrow.
So, so can the cameraman show us around in this
Come on a bit further.
platform? So these are the bikes to be maintained.
No, these ones. I think this one's actually getting some repair work or some maintenance done. This one's ready to go.
Okay.
This one is halfway through our new color, Galaxy Grey. It's a matte finish just now, but we're going to be putting on the clear coat, so it pops a little bit more.
So far I see there are red color, orange, and black. So you are also going to have silver. What other color do you have?
At the moment, our plan is we're only going to be having this Galaxy Grey color here with the clear coat and a slightly deeper red. I think this one is a bit of a Frankenstein bike just now with the black parts. This bike over here is an older customer's bike, so we won't. That's a very unique color, and we're discontinuing the black and the orange and the red that are outside.
Cool. So shall we also visit your office?
Yeah, come on up. We'll
Okay.
have a look and
The office is upstairs. Come on.
see some of the team.
Okay. So here's the logo of the company. You can see it's pretty cool.
Okay, so this is our marketing and sales department. Everyone's out having lunch just now, so pretty quiet.
Okay.
Uh,
So this is a place where you guys have, come for a meeting or, brainstorming, something like that?
To be honest, it's the meetings and sort of
Okay.
brainstorming is just done over here in the beanbags. Yeah, I just work over here. This is the marketing. This is business development and sales where I sit, and the CEO sits here along with the head of engineering.
So could I ask how many foreigners do you have in the company, or the foreign-Chinese ratio, something like that?
It's about a 50-50 mix at the moment. I think there's between 10 and 20 people who work at the company. I should have done a head count by now. I keep getting asked that question.
Okay, that's good. So can you show us around?
Yeah, sure. So this is our engineering department. We have a 3D printer over here.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what it's making just now, but it's always interesting to have a look. I think it's just a mocked up heatsink.
What is this?
I am not 100% sure. I think it's just, I think it's a sort of fake heatsink just to get the proportions correct for our new controller.
Yeah.
We have some other, this is our headlight for our new Evoque Pulse. These are some of the prototype ideas. We haven't got a finalized idea yet, so they're a little bit rough.
It really seems that you have a lot of high-tech facilities over here. Like,
Yes, we do, but most of the technology that we use these days, your own home mechanic and enthusiast could essentially do it themselves.
okay.
It's the world's fantastic these days. Everything's so accessible.
Right. So here's a board that you can draw your design over
Yeah,
here.
there's some designs drawn on this just now.
Yeah.
I've not been keeping track of this side of the business for a few days, so I think they're working on the new bike, which is the Cruiser. It's slightly Harley-Davidson-esque, but it's going to have a lot of power and a 400-kilometer range. It's going to be quite a beefy machine.
So can I ask, what are the advantages of Evoques over other electric bikes?
A big part is the price point. They are considerably lower cost than an equivalent American or European electric.
So how much are they?
In the US, they retail at $9,500. Here in China, they're 45,000 RMB.
It's pretty comparatively cheap, I think.
For what they are, yes. I mean, if you wanted to get an equivalent American or European one, you'd be looking at $15,000, $16,000 minimum, and that's for a bike that's lower spec than ours.
And I also heard you're going to set up several swap stations along around Beijing. What is that plan?
Yeah, well, currently we are running the beta testing for our My Evoke program, where the idea is a customer comes to us, they pay 1,500 RMB a month, and we will give them a bike. And when the battery is running low on charge, they would take it to one of our swap stations and just hop off that bike, hop onto a new bike, and keep going. So, in essence, you have unlimited range because you don't have to charge the bike at all. We cover maintenance, we cover insurance, all that is covered, so all you have to do is jump on the bike, turn the key and go.
That's cool. That's very convenient. And do you have any kind of unforgettable experience working in China? Is the Chinese easy to deal with, or what are some of the experiences in China that you can share with us?
I enjoy working in China. I find Chinese people are very friendly, and I like how honest they are when you're working with them because they don't dance around questions. To be brutally honest, I've mainly been working with the international markets, so I've not been dealing too much with Chinese consumers, but I've been at a few fairs and shows for the bikes, and we've had a lot of interest from especially older Chinese clients who they used to ride motorcycles, and they now want something that's legal in the larger cities that can give them that fun of their youth.
Okay, and I also heard that the Evoke has won some awards during those fairs that you participated. What are they?
The last one was the CES Asia Top 5 Startup Award. I don't know if I've worded that correctly, but yes, we were in that. That was wait, 2 months ago, I think.
We're like in Beijing?
That was in Shanghai.
In Shanghai. So how many cities have you been traveling in China so far, either during business trip or by traveling?
Business trips, I have only been around Beijing, to be honest. I've personally been to Qingda, Yuancheng and Shaanxi province, Taiyuan, and Tianjin. That's really been it so far.
Quite a lot.
Not as much as I hoped. I wish I could see more of China. I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance. It's on my to-do list.
You have a lot of time. So, is there any other places that you want to show us around?
Apart from this, we have a photo studio, but there's no bikes in that just now, so it's probably best just heading out and we can go on another test ride.
Okay, then we can go another test ride, and then maybe we can go to a park.
Yes, we can go somewhere a little bit more scenic.
Sure, let's go. Okay. So do you know where we're going, the park? Because I'm not very familiar with this place.
I know roughly the area that we're going to, so forgive me if we get lost.
Yeah.
My geography is still not great around this section of Beijing. We only moved here about 2 months ago, so it's still pretty new to me.
Okay, but you have to lead the way.
Yes, yeah, of course.
So how far can the bike go? Like 130?
The bike's top speed is 130 kilometers an hour, but the range is about 200 kilometers.
Okay. Cool. So let's get on. Let's see. I should drop my glasses over here, and then where's the helmet? Oh, cool. What? Say something. Okay, this is so good. We're going to the park and do the other part of the interview to talk about Connor's personal experience in China. So, guys, let's go. Okay, we're waiting for the red light. It's so cool over here. So I don't know where. Yeah, you're watching Xinhua broadcast, and now we're with Evoke. Evoke is a company that produces electric motorcycles, like this one I'm riding. So let's see. We're going to a park to do an interview with Mr. Connor McRae, who is with Evoke. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to turn left, so we have to wait for the light. Okay. So as you can see, this is not like a scooter that we see on university campuses. It's like real gasoline-powered motorcycles with its electricity, and it can go as far as 130 kilometers per hour. So this is the fastest electricity motorcycles in China so far. Ooh, cool. Sorry, guys. It's a little bit. We ran over fast. So.
Yeah, there's some sort of
Yeah, this is a good place. This is a good place. Right. So right here we're at a park. I think this is better than the indoor because it's more open and sunny.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So shall we go inside?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
find a nice
To,
place to sit and chill.
to find some like grassland so that we can
What's that little
maybe.
section over there?
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
place.
yeah, there's. Or over there where that woman is.
So Connor, how long have you been riding motorcycles?
Not very long to be honest. I first started riding a little bit back in Scotland, just very very small motorcycles, and then when I first got to China, I started riding. I bought a big motorcycle, but crashed pretty quickly, so that scared me a bit. So I moved on to smaller bikes, and now I'm moving back up again with the Evokes.
Yeah. Me too. I rarely ride motorcycles, but I'm a good driver of cars.
See, yeah, I am. I've got a car just now, but there's too much traffic in Beijing. I mean, a motorcycle is really what you need.
Right, of course. That's it. So one of our audience asks, how much is the motorcycle?
If you want to buy one here outright in China, it's 45,000 RMB.
45,000 RMB.
But if you want to buy one in the US, they're about $9,500, and in Europe, the recommended price is about 8,000 euros.
So it has an advantage concerning price over others.
Internationally, yes. In China, it's the most expensive electric motorcycle, but it's also the fastest.
Yeah. Shall we do the interview here?
Yeah, we'll just have to.
So we're doing the second part of the interview with Connor. It's more about his personal experiences. He has been in China for 2 years. So next, he will share with us his experience in China over these 2 years. And I will also introduce to you my colleague, Stephanie. She will also interview Connor with me.
Hello everyone, welcome to our live broadcast. I'm Stephanie from Xinhua News Agency. Today we're joined by Mr. Connor, and he will share with us his personal stories in China. So Connor, I've heard that you have been through some ups and downs when you first got to China and you didn't find a very ideal job, but you find your current position here. Could you please share with us how you search for job opportunities in China?
Yeah, well, basically, when I first came to China, I was told that the easiest job to get was an English teacher, and that's basically what I did. To find an English teaching job, it took a few days, but I really do not enjoy that work. It's, I mean, some people do. If you like children, if you like teaching adults, great, but it was not for me. So I was thinking about leaving China after about a year because all the expats and foreigners that I'd spoken to, the ones who had decent jobs here, well, decent in my opinion, like engineering and jobs related to their career, they had originally been working in those companies back in their home countries and had been sent here. So I wasn't aware that you could actually get higher paying, better jobs for your career here in China just searching as an expat here. And then I was using, I was in a WeChat group about 7 months ago and came across an advert for Evoke motorcycles and applied and got the job. So yeah, it's been a great experience so far.
Wow, sounds very interesting. And you've been living in China and working in China for several years. Would you like to share with us some of your impressive stories when you interact with Chinese people or your Chinese partners?
There's been a lot of funny mishaps with cultural miscommunications. there's not too many that spring to mind at the moment. The company that like Evoke is really good because the Chinese and expats that both work there have had a lot of communication and exposure to other nationalities. So we're all very culturally diverse and very accepting. So it's been much more fun and much less frustrating working at a company like this because there are a lot of cultural borders which you do have to overcome on both sides. So it's good not to have to go through those again like I did with my previous job.
Okay. And China has been going through a very fast development. So what's your opinion on that, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's actually incredible the sheer speed that China is able to develop. Like, for example, I've been speaking to quite a lot of people here about, in London they were talking about extending their subway system and it was going to take absolute years, and to do the same stretch here in China it would be about 3 months. It's absolutely incredible the sheer pace that things can get done in this country. It's the world can really learn a bit from it.
Okay, and there has been a very catchy but very inspiring phrase in recent years. It's the Chinese dream. What's your perspective on that? Or do you heard about the Chinese dreams of other foreigners?
I've heard of the Chinese dream, but I'm not very familiar with it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's take a walk on the grassland. I think it's a good place to go.
Okay, just go on.
Yeah, my understanding was the Chinese dream was mainly aimed at the Chinese locals, and I'm not entirely sure what it consists of, to be honest. I mean, if it's anything like the American dream, then yeah, it's just come to the country and it's kind of the land of opportunity. And at the moment, I mean, yeah, there is a lot of opportunity here in China. There's money everywhere. There's new industry and innovation all over the place. So it's definitely the place to be just now.
So are there any tips that you can give to your friends back home or any other foreigners who wants to go to China for a job or for a living, something like that?
Yeah, learn some Chinese. Also, you need to do your homework before you come here. You do need to learn about some of the culture beforehand, as you should with any culture. It's mainly just figuring out there are certain creature comforts that are not so easy to get hold of in this country. I mean, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, the first tier cities, you can live just as you would back in your home country, but if you're going anywhere smaller, you need to figure out exactly what you use in your day-to-day life, how you can get hold of it, and just and if you can really handle the cultural differences.
Just now, our viewers have a question for Mr. Connor. If they buy one of the Evoke motorcycles here, do they need special license?
At the moment, no, not in Beijing. You can ride it without a license. My understanding is they are trying to change that law in the coming months, but we do not know anything about that yet. But that's just in China. I mean, most other countries they're registered as traditional motorcycles.
So what is the thing that you want to do most in China? Maybe ride your motorcycles and travel through the country?
Yes, I have a big passion for traveling. So that was one of the main reasons I came to China, because it's such a big country and there's so much to see. I haven't had a chance to see very much of it yet. I've only been to a handful of cities. But yeah, I ideally want to pick up one of the adventure motorcycles that you get here and yeah, tour around the country a bit.
Okay, so how long can the motorcycle go? Because unless you run out of the battery.
The Evoke Urban S can go 200 kilometers.
Oh, that's cool. That you can, and then you can go to the swap station, hopefully, to get another bike if it runs out of battery.
Yeah, if you're with the My Evoke program, yes, but I'm not entirely sure when that program will be coming out. At the moment, we're still just in the beta testing.
Sure, good. Do you have any?
So thank you, our viewers. Please give your comments, your feelings, and also tell us where you are watching us from. Today we are joined by Mr. Connor. He's from the Evoke Motorbikes in Beijing. It's kind of a foreign company, but also have Chinese employees here. So thank you, Connor, for joining us, and thank you for the efforts your colleagues have made to prepare for this very wonderful tour.
Right. Thank you, man. Very good.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.